In the news today, opposition to stay away from parliamentary debate on budget measures. The APNU plus AFC coalition has made public its intention to stay away from the National Assembly as it sits to debate and pass several bills to give effect to measures in the 2020 national budget. The statement by Joseph Harman noted that the coalition was still not in full support of the budget and will not be debating any bills that would give effect to the measures. AFC members talk of shifting support to PPP. Following an election on Monday, APNU's Daniel Serum assumed the chairmanship and Samuel Sandy the vice chairman position, with the AFC putting up its own nominee and failing to get the support of the APNU to secure the position. This immediately prompted a resignation from David Patterson, who is the party's general secretary. Among the discussions which were exchanged via the WhatsApp chat, there were threats that they would lend support for the 14 PPP councillors on the RDC in future decision-making processes. Canal No. 1 businessman robbed of over $2 million in cash. Police said they are investigating the armed robbery of a Canal No. 1, West Bank Demerara businessman and his domestic worker on Monday. According to the police, 64-year-old Narindio Jiram and 48-year-old Kristamati called Devi were attacked and robbed by 4 identifiable men. Investigators said the men were of East Indian descent and one of them was armed with a handgun. Reports are that Jiram had just returned home after doing business at a popular hardware store on the west bank of Demerara and was having breakfast in a hammock when the 4 men entered his yard. The men's faces were covered with rags. The men then approached Jiram and dealt him one blow to his left side forehead with the gun. The bleeding victim was then sat on by one of the bandits while another grabbed Kristamati and dealt her several blows about her body. The men demanded the keys for the house which they used to gain access. They carted off with $2.2 million in cash from the house. Jiram's son, who was making his way into the yard at the time, was also apprehended by the men and relieved of $200,000 cash. The men then made good their escape in a waiting white motor car in an eastern direction. The victim and the domestic worker were both treated at the Canal Health Center for injuries received and sent away. Investigations are continuing. Carol Joseph arrested as police continue probe into electoral fraud. The flamboyant opposition activist Carol Joseph has been arrested and questioned in relation to electoral fraud surrounding the March 2 general and regional elections. News outlets understands that Mrs. Joseph was visited by police on Tuesday and told she was wanted for questioning. She agreed to go down to the headquarters of the Criminal Investigations Department with her attorney. Joseph is known for her public protests on behalf of APNU plus AFC and participated in the more than month-long national vote recount at the Arthur Chung Conference Center. She was subsequently released on substantial bail. $413 million and 2 years after a contract that should have taken 6 months to build, the Leguan Stelling is still to be completed. Several stores have been selling fake Samsung tablets to people who are eager to take advantage of online teaching learning devices, but the Competition and Consumer Affairs Commission (CCAC) says consumers have been complaining that many of the devices cannot download apps. A CCAC spokeswoman said that regulatory agency has received several complaints and has so far assisted consumers in getting refunds. Parika laborer remanded on armed robbery charges. A 27-year-old laborer of Parika, East Bank Essequibo was remanded to prison on Tuesday after he was charged with 2 counts of armed robbery. He was remanded to prison until October 22, 2020. An investigation and manhunt has been launched following the escape of convicted prisoner James Moore. Moore, along with 13 other prisoners, were booked out from the holding bay to work at the Lusignan prison kitchen today, Tuesday, September 29, 2020. At about 16:30 hours, he was discovered missing from his place of labor. Moore is serving a 3-year sentence for armed robbery. His addresses on record are Lot 544 New Road, Derry, and Dennis Street, Turkian. Minister Vindia Prasad of the Ministry of Human Service and Social Security stated, "I am available every Wednesday and Friday between the hours of 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. to meet members of the public. Please contact my office at 225-7112 or 231-6501 to make an appointment. All COVID-19 protocols will be in effect.